Thank you guys very much for having me here. So my name is Patrick Hartford. I think I've spoken with a number of you before. I'm the founder of a company called NoticeConnect, and I'm a lawyer. So what I'll do is I'll give you a very quick run through of what we do, and then I'll give a very quick overview of how we've been working with law associations and some of the ways we'd like to collaborate further. So NoticeConnect is a web platform for publishing legal notices and connecting them with their intended audience, which is something that I started a number of years ago when I was actually studying for the bar exam and read the section about how in estate law, when you publish a notice to creditors, you would put it in the newspaper when someone has died. You'd inform any creditors, theoretically, that they have one last chance to make a claim against the estate. And I thought that seemed a bit ridiculous that a print newspaper would communicate that information, and I think mostly to avoid studying for the bar exam, I really delved into this question and found that the Trustee Act was silent. There was no real reason why these kinds of notices had to go in a print newspaper. So created a web platform. It was originally a bit of a side project while I did a clerkship, and then it had grown just on its own to the point where I wanted to dive in and do it full time, and that was a couple of years ago. And we brought a test case with the help of a law firm in Toronto, Mills & Mills, that got confirmation from the Superior Court that this indeed satisfied the Trustee Act. So one of my favorite slides I like to show is that it's an area where there was not a lot of innovation. That's a notice to creditors from the 1800s, and beside it is one from just a couple years ago, and the resolution's a bit better, but aside from that, it really hasn't changed much. So we built a platform that connects those notices to creditors with creditors in a number of different ways. So with search engine optimization, social media, physical mailing lists, email mailing lists. We ended up actually building some more advanced tools where we now have large creditor organizations that give us a list of their names. We monitor and use the smart matching tool to alert them when there's a match. So it's just worked a lot better. Quick overview, that's what the site looks like. It's noticeconnect.com. In the last couple of years, we've really become the standard way that these notices are published. And the reason that this ends up bringing me to you guys is because one of the types of notices that we then added was at the request of the estate lawyers that were using us, as well as the public guardian and some of the trust companies, was that another related type of issue is people who are looking for missing wills, either because they think there's one out there or because they want to make sure that they've done their homework and checked all of the possible available sources to see if some other lawyer has a will in their vault that could be relevant to the file they're working on. And so we created knowledge of a will notices, and again, the goal is that people publish those notices and then we share them with the relevant audience. And so we do it in a couple ways. We have, again, a free email subscription list, which has a few hundred firms. We have also been working with WillCheck and sending them the notices that we have on our site to cross-reference with their system. And then we've been working with a couple law associations. So TLA and a number of others have signed on, and now they get a monthly roundup of all of the missing will notices that have been posted on our site for the last month, and then they can forward those on to their members. We leave it up to the individual law associations as to how they want to pass those forward. So for some, particularly in smaller areas, they'll only pass forward ones that are notices that are related to that area, but others choose to forward the whole list just as a once a month to the particular lawyers who are practicing estates. And so one of the reasons why this has been working well is that I know that a lot of law associations will do this kind of on a case-by-case basis and will send out letters to their membership when somebody is looking for a will, and this just systematizes it a little bit better and puts it into kind of one comprehensive framework. It's actually, so we're using this as the starting point for doing a number of other tools, and again, providing, I think, some more comprehensive solutions for searching and finding missing wills and that kind of thing. So the reason why I drove through the rain and the slush to get here today is because I wanted to make sure that I communicated to you guys what it is we're doing, to encourage you to chat with me after when there's a bit of a break, and to potentially look into signing up. Obviously, there's no cost to any of this. We simply want to make sure that the notices that we have are being connected with the intended audience. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'll be available to chat afterwards. And if you go to NoticeConnect.com, you'll be able to find all the information to get in touch with us. So I'd be happy to answer any questions as they come up. Thank you very much.